Hey, this is Chris Allingham with the Virtual Weber Gas Grill. Today I'm going to show you how to clean and lubricate the gas valves on an older Weber gas grill. On a lot of older grills, you may find that the valve gets hard to turn, it gets sticky. You may find that some of the knobs are supposed to push down and then turn and lock into different positions like high, medium, low, and your valve doesn't really lock into place properly. It doesn't move up and down in a springy fashion like it's supposed to. We're going to fix all that today by cleaning and lubricating the valves. I've got a Weber Summit 450 right here. The steps I'm going to show you today will work in this grill as well as most of the older Genesis gas grills, probably going back to the 1985 model 2, 3, and 4 of the Genesis line. There's only two things you'll need to buy in order to do this process. One is you need a solvent, and this is a brake parts cleaner, comes in a spray can, and you'll need to have some kind of a high temperature lubricant, and this is a grease that's made for brake calipers. It's got moly, PTFE, and graphite in it. It comes in two little packets in this box for like $6.79, which is highway robbery, but you gotta have what you gotta have. You can probably lubricate 100 grills with the amount of grease that's in this package. You'll also need a cloth to apply and wipe the parts with the solvent, and you'll need some Q-tips as well. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver on this grill, which is probably what you need on yours as well. I want to thank, by the way, L. Michaels on the Virtual Weber bullet board. He's the guy who turned me on to this whole process. He described it in detail online, and if it weren't for his knowledge about how to do this process, I wouldn't be able to share this information with you in this video. So thank you to L. Michaels. Let me go ahead and show you how we get started. First step is to make sure the gas is turned off at the gas tank. Now, to get access to the gas valves, we want to remove the burner control knobs, the control panel, and any other fascia or components that protect and cover up those valves. On this grill, we lift up the front edge of the control panel and it slides straight out. Your grill will probably be different, so check your owner's manual for instructions. There's also a fascia here on this grill that pulls straight up and out of the way. This reveals the manifold and the valves. Here's a close-up of a valve. There's a small silicone disc that sits on top that protects it from dirt. We'll remove that and set it aside. And now we're going to take off the valve cover. Two screws hold it in place. Be careful not to strip those screws. They're very small. Set those aside. Make sure not to lose them. And with the screws loosened and removed, the valve cover will lift right off the valve body. Here we can see the valve cover we removed on the left. It contains the stem that you turn to control the gas flow, and the valve itself is on the right. Take out that spring and set it aside, and the cone-shaped valve will pull right straight up out of the valve body. It's made out of brass and has a series of holes in it that control the amount of gas that flows to the burner. Here's a view down into the valve body. It's also cone-shaped to receive that cone-shaped valve that allows gas into the burners. First step here is to clean the inside of that valve body. I'm using a Q-tip with some of the brake cleaner on it, and then we're going to clean off that cone-shaped valve also with some of the brake cleaning solvent as well. Now we'll apply just a very thin amount of the black brake grease to the valve cone. It's a very light coating on that surface. And we're going to insert that back into the valve body with that notch facing left as it was originally. It may vary on your grill. Just put the pieces back the way that you found them, and we're going to put the spring back in the middle so we don't lose it. Now this is the valve cover with the stem. We're going to just push the stem right through the valve cover. We're going to clean it with solvent. And we're going to clean the valve cover with a Q-tip with solvent as well, just on the inside surfaces. We'll apply some of the black grease to the valve stem, and we'll insert that back into the valve cover with that pin aligned in the slot as it was originally. That's the off position. Now we're just going to reassemble. Put the valve cover back on top of the valve body and tighten down those two screws. You're going to repeat this process on all the other valves on the grill. This grill has 4. You may have anywhere from 2 to 6. Put in the second screw. Just make sure they're tight, but not overly tight. We're going to replace the silicone cover on top of the valve body. Now it's time to reassemble the control panel. On this grill, we'll put that fascia back in place, and then we'll put the control panel back in place and make sure it's locked in place by lifting up on the front edge so that it catches and latches in place. And then finally, we will put the burner control knobs back on. Now, the way you know that you've done a good job is when you want to test these knobs, they should move smoothly, and they should also catch at the various settings. On this grill, you push down and you see how it pops up into the high position, it pops up into the medium position, it pops up into the low position. So we have smooth movement and we have good lock at each position.